Hello Smylena, welcome to InternPro's OPT Unplugged.
So let's start with your introduction. Like, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background and why you chose to do your master's in US?
I came to the US 2 years ago to pursue my master's in electrical engineering. I specialize in signal processing and communications. I came here because of the vast opportunities that they have.
Got it. And how did you come to know about InternPro and what made you decide to join the platform?
Some of my seniors were already part of this platform, so they were the ones who suggested me to sign up. They told me that this platform would give me a good industry exposure before I get into a full-time job. They told me that this platform has a lot of projects relevant to my course, so I thought I should go.
Right. So, speaking about the journey, so how was your journey since graduation till you found InternPro?
My first response was confusion. I didn't know what to do because I did not have a full-time job, so I was a little stressed. But once I got into this program, because I was working on something that was relevant to my course.
Awesome. That's a good space to be in right there. How has InternPro helped you upskill and gain industry level experience?
The program starts with the skill training, which sort of sets you up for applying for the projects that are there on the platform. So there were sessions where I was doing my resume. That was very helpful in applying for the projects. I was able to see what kind of projects were required and what I needed to showcase based on the internship openings that they had.
So can you share an example of a skill you learned during the sessions that helped you land an interview?
There was a mock interview course that we were required to do that not only helped me in landing a project on the platform, but also was helpful during my interview process. So these mock interviews came with a bunch of suggestions in the end, which not only helped me in forming sentences and ideas, it also gave me examples as to what the interviewers usually require from the interviewees. So that was helpful, which in turn helped me building confidence.
Awesome. Okay. So have these skills that you learned from InternPro been a good addition to your skill set or to build your resume or confidence?
So my project demanded me to learn a bit of, because I had to 3D print a few parts, I was required to learn SolidWorks and another software called Tinkercad. So now I think I'm proficient in that because I did something that I would normally not do it.
Awesome. So how does InternPro help you stay up to date with your industry related tools or let's say trends that you have to keep yourself updated?
The projects that we are assigned are very relevant to what we actually studied in the university. For example, I work a lot on controls. My project is based on a prosthetic arm. So I was asked to design a control system for it. So that's where I use the 3D printing, my knowledge of 3D printing, which I learned through this program. Now I'm trying to integrate it with something that I already knew, that is modeling systems.
Can you expand a little more on the project that you're working on right now?
So I am collaborating with one of the students in Smylena who is working to build a prosthetic arm which can be used to hold a particular object, and this caters to people with a missing limb but have myoelectric abilities. In the long run, we envision the project to to integrate machine learning so that we can incorporate voice control into the prosthetic. And that was something that I did in the university. A lot of simulations were run on the voice snippets that we had. So I ran machine learning algorithms, and in this project I want to integrate that knowledge with in designing a prosthetic.
That sounds very exciting because you're trying to incorporate whatever you learned in the university into a project that you're currently working on. So, what has been the most rewarding part of your internship so far with InternPro?
I think the joy of just doing something new, because job search is very stressful, and in that period, learning something new and being mentored has been very helpful. Apart from that, rewarding my project partner was very kind enough to put up a post about the project that he had been working on. So that was, it felt like it's going in the right direction.
Awesome. That's an
Felt
amazing answer.
great.
So, can you tell us a bit about your team that you're working with right now and how it's helping you in terms of adapting to the real world project team?
I am collaborating with a high schooler in Suriname. So apart from that, I'm the only one, but that helped me empathize with the student and what her requirements are. So there's a lot of back and forth during the weekly meetings as to what she would want to do.
Yeah, so how has networking been a benefit from InternPro and how would that help you?
I interviewed a lot through InternPro. So that way I was able to network with people, the fellow colleagues from InternPro, just to know how to interview for a particular project or things like that. It also gives some insights on how to interview for full-time roles.
Awesome. Have you received any feedback from your internship or something that you'd like to share?
So every week I present my progress, and they usually have few tips or suggestions to make. One of the suggestions that they made was about a software that I mentioned earlier, was FingerCAD. I had no clue that such a software existed. They told me that it's very handy and could probably help in speeding up the process of the project. So those little nuances.
Awesome. Can you share a specific moment or project contribution that you have done that you're proud of during the internship?
I just feel like in the beginning, they were very open about what ideas I had, and since I lacked experience in the industry, I was a little hesitant. But once I put forward my thoughts, they seemed very supportive, and that sort of boosted my confidence, and I was very happy.
Awesome. That's an amazing answer. Describe your experience with InternPro in a few words.
My experience with InternPro has been very easy and less stressful. It's because the work that is assigned to us is for 20 hours, and we're not expected to work beyond 20 hours because of the protective environment that the platform creates. You don't have to worry about just work as much as 20 hours. You're good, and whatever makes you happy.
So, what's the one thing that you've learned about yourself during this internship experience?
That tailoring your resume is important, and how you present things is what matters a lot.
Like, can you expand on that a little more so that, like, something very specific that something you changed in your resume? Like, so you mentioned about the fact that it helped you refine your resume, right, for the applications that you set up. Something. So, can you be a little more specific with that? Like, what did you change?
Because InternPro provides a very formal setting, you have to present your work in a way that is acceptable, like documentation part. Everything that you do needs to be documented. So things like that were a little lenient when I was in the university, where you have to showcase what you have done. So those kind of things. And you have to communication. I think my communication has improved. I'm more. I know what I require from them and what I need to clarify before every weekly task.
That's a great learning to have. Let's talk about this. So how has InternPro supported you in balancing your internship and also your job hunt?
So InternPro is very structured. So that way, most of the mundane tasks like noting, making reports, and compartmentalizing what we are doing is sorted. So I don't have to worry about those things. So 20 hours does not count as a lot.
How do you think InternPro stands out compared to the other platforms or resources for F1 graduates?
The biggest plus point about InternPro platform is that it's very legitimate. I don't have to worry about getting scammed by fraudulent companies, which is something that I was extremely worried about, and that is something that I trust.
Yeah, that's a valid point because there are a lot of scammers out there right now. So, perfect. So, what advice would you give to other F1 graduates who are considering to join into?
3 tips that I would give for students who are planning to join the platform would be: first one would be to apply for the projects right away when you join the platform. Second would be to communicate properly with the people who are in the platform, because they are very helpful and you don't have to worry too much, they're always there for you. Third is to communicate present what you expect from the project, and also learn what they need from you.
Awesome. That's good. Perfect. What was your expectation going into the platform, or what did you expect from the platform that you gained?
So when I signed up for InternPro, I wasn't sure if I would find a project, because electrical projects are very niche, and there are fewer project partners who would actually hire students, fresh grads. So I thought that it would be very challenging, but I found decent number of projects on InternPro, which is hard to find on other platforms, or even on Google in general. It's hard to volunteer anywhere else.
Awesome. That was good.
So initially, I wasn't sure how things work due to my lack of experience. I didn't know what exactly was expected from me. But I just went ahead and presented my ideas during the initial stage of the project, and my teammates were very happy about how proactive I was, and that made me more confident.
Yeah. So, can you describe your thoughts on InternPro or experience on InternPro?
In 3 words, I would say InternPro is trustworthy, supportive, and easy.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so this is a fun question, I think. So if you could give your past self one piece of advice before starting this journey, what would it be?
I would be probably apply to more projects and just go with the flow, keep looking for that perfect project, or just take up, depends, but just keep moving and keep tailoring your resume and be vocal about your skills.
Thank you, Smylena, for joining us today. It was great talking to you.